portico and the little park that I was telling you about. This is the outside of San Domenico's church, and there's a big column with a statue of the saint at the top. And we're going to be walking around the side to get in, we think, and there's supposed to be some very nice sculptures in here, including some work by Michelangelo. So let's go see what we can find. Here's an Italian tourist walking around. We're walking around the basilica trying to find a way in. So far no luck. A little beautiful courtyard here on one side of it. Laura and I are walking over to the Porta Stanzini or something like that. I've got it. Anyway, that's where the portico, the long covered passageway, goes all the way up to an old church on a hill over the city. So we'll show you a little bit of what we see as we walk along the city streets here, trying to get to the port. There's my favorite traveling companion over there, and you can see some of the colors of the houses. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon, and it's a bank holiday here, so a lot of things are closed. You can see these shops are mostly closed up. A few things open for tourists, and but not much. But we're still able to see quite a bit. So, Laura caught a glimpse of this coat of arms above this beautifully polished old wooden door in this interesting building. Looks like a big palazzo of some kind. There was a big coat of arms over the door there you saw a minute ago. And there's some beautiful flowers here also hanging down. Think so? We're walking down the Via Urbana. For all of our Champaign-Urbana friends, I guess this is connected. This is the back of that building we were looking at before. Some beautiful trees or hedges or something up here, flowered at the end. And some more beautifully colored buildings here. Archways, they're little covered. Here's one of these characteristic porticos under which most of the main streets are lined. And then we're going to take a portico that goes all the way up the hill, 666 arches. Probably some.
Take a picture of every one.
Or it says we'll take a picture of every single one. Here's another side street. Lots of scooters all over the place, but today it's quiet. When we were in Florence, they were everywhere. It's like mosquitoes around you as you were driving through the town. We're at the beginning of the siesta period. It's not real warm here today, so a lot of people are not closing their shutters and trying to beat the heat. It's really quite pleasant. Probably in the high 50s, low 60s. And but still, people take off in the middle of the day for a nice big meal and a siesta. We've had a little lunch, had a sandwich, and then we're going to walk to this church. That's the Italian church.
One child is a good.
Not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, it said that back there.
This takes all the way to the creek. So that's where the
Oh, they just said this together. Oh,
Yeah, this is our. Well, there's Laura. I haven't been recording. That's the Palazzo Albergati. Maybe we can find out more about it here in our book. Okay, this tells us it's the Palazzo Albergati that's being restored here. We can't get inside. We can look at the outside here. It looks beautiful from the outside, like the restoration is all finished, but we don't know anything about the building. Look it up on the internet if you're curious. This is the Porta Saragossa, which I mispronounced badly before. This is one of the gates to the city, and from this gate proceeds the portico, about 3 kilometers long, up to the Church of Santa Luca.
San Luca.
San Luca.
Luca's a guy.
Luca's a guy, Laura tells me. And, oh, here's some other guys. There's the beginning of the portico. We've got to cross a busy street here to get there. Here's the other side of the Saragossa gate. Big carved lion at the top of it. On both sides. And here we are on the other side of the gate, looking down the street, the Via di Saragossa, and there's the different parts of the gate. Laura told me, she read that this was considered the weak point of the city defenses and was usually the point of attack when the city was under siege. Okay, we're starting up the portico. It's supposed to be about 2 plus 2.5 kilometers from the starting point here up to the church. We're walking up the portico and you can see the sun and the shadows and the traffic zooming by. It's a little different than Laura and I were expecting. We thought this was some sort of standalone passage up to the church, but it's really, at least in this portion of it, a kind of a city street with portico on one side with lots of, there were shops at the beginning, but now they look like they're mostly either closed shops or apartment buildings. Little streets in here can give you an idea of what it looks like. This is mid-afternoon siesta time, so people are having their lunch. Laura and I were just checking out if we ever wanted to come and have a little vacation home here in Bologna. Number 210 here seems to be real comfortable and spacious. Big gardens around it. This side too. On the opposite side is a piece of sculpture, a Madonna and Child. Tunos, tunos ab hoste protege. To us a child is given. It's a small church here, part way up the hill. And I don't know if you can see up the, there's a steep road here going up to the church. And then we take a few steps down, and then you can see it's a very steep walk up the next leg, last leg I hope, of it. We were about halfway up the portico when we stopped that little church. There's the last little bit. We're up to about 350 or 360 of the 666 arches, and there's a little view over the newer part of the city. Big apartment blocks out there in the distance.